God damn it. What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Quiet down? Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No. The Regional Bureau Chief merely issued a special order.
Oh. Yeah. How could I forget? A special order to rob me of my well-deserved vacation.
You want pizza? I'll buy you some pizza. You can find that junk anywhere.
Whoa! Hey! Hold on a minute. What did you just say? Pizza is not junk. Pizza is a sacred food, bestowed upon us by God Himself. You need to apologize right now. This is sheer blasphemy.
Apologize to who? Pizza or God?
Ha ha! You think you're so clever. Maybe if you'd eaten pizza this morning like a decent person, you wouldn't have cut your finger.
I only cut my finger because I couldn't find a left-handed can opener at the hotel. Normally, I would never make such an amateur mistake.
Oh, really? Well, if you want me to get into gear, then just feed me some pizza, okay?
We must act unfaithfully and abandon our ideals again and again. We cannot advance from one period of life into another without causing these pains of treachery.
Nietzsche, again, please spare me, before my ears start to bleed. Ever since the moment you got here, it's been nothing but Nietzsche quotes.
The worst enemy you can meet will always be yourself.
I said knock it off. I prefer pizza to philosophy. Want me to dial the number for you?
Come on, Agent Jones. It's time to get serious. Your 4.5 years of hard work are finally about to pay off, and all you're focused on is this nonsense?
Pizza isn't nonsense.
Quiet.
As you wish, Mother. My lips are sealed. Happy now.
Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike. And no red, remember?
It's open. Come on in. You have questions for us. That's why you're here, isn't it?
Mr. Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones, an analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
Seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo. You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game. Isn't that right, my fairy? How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived. If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face. Excuse me, Mr. Morgan, but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... Yes, that.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
What? If we say no?
Then I'll put it out myself, using force.
Whoa, whoa, Aaliyah. This is Morgan's house. Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes. And I mean, come on.
It's medicinal.
Exactly.
You solved many difficult cases across your career, utilizing your own unique MO. You've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be unsolvable. According to our records, after joining the FBI in 2002, in 2003 you solved the inside-out flesh skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. In 2004, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case in Milwaukee. And also the stuffed human collector case in St. Louis that very same year. Then, in 2005, you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation. You went on to solve many other cases after that, all of them seemingly inexplicable. Did you really solve these cases all on your own? There are no records of you using a wide-scale investigative team or working with anyone else. How did you ever accomplish such monumental feats all by yourself?
It was all thanks to our talented partner.
Partner. The FBI files show no record of you ever working with a partner. Do you mean you worked with some sort of unofficial partner or an outside confidant?
Our partner is our partner. We've always worked together. Besides, Belle, you're forgetting one important thing. After the St. Louis case, we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives. Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie. The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society. Or perhaps it's a psychological barrier meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
So, Belle, does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
He's more dangerous than I thought. I can't read him. I'll just have to assault him head on with questions then. First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake him up. Do you remember the homicides that took place in Le Carré, Louisiana in 2005?
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Le Carré immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know. If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means? That's why we're here. The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it? The body that went missing for 14 years was suddenly discovered frozen in a warehouse. This is some kind of message from the victim to us.
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case. Lisa's body can't change anything now, and it certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit. Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy? A corpse as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents.
Isn't there someone else you should have talked to before coming to us? Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during your time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire... That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve, which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent.
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries, and they always have the most bizarre timing.
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere.
You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staffed the warehouse and its owner. But we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse. That man. So incoherent. Such a pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
The large man, yes? No need to answer. If you don't want to. I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook FBI protocol.
Morgan's right. Everything happens for a reason. Even this messy room. There must be a reason for it, especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them. Mr. Morgan. I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean. Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries. They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places, hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing, but we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon, don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again. You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out.
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think, my fairy? 4.5 years. All that time, and what does he have to show for it?
Crossword puzzles? No way. Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones.
Oh, right.
He's completely taken control of the conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more. Agent Jones? Did you find the files? Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
Whoa! Whoa! Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of
told you.
justice!
We told you. Go. Ah! Stay back. Stay back. Sanctuary. Stay. Stay. Ah! 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 Yeah.
Mr. Morgan?
Ah!
I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through. How could I be so stupid? Everything should be fine now. I'm sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition. The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear. Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red, either.
Don't ever touch one again. I told.
Now, may we return to our discussion?
Don't worry.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red. And I believe that fear is connected to the Greenville case. Could you tell me what exactly the word sanctuary means to you?
Sanctuaries are sanctuaries. Nothing more and nothing less.
That doesn't explain anything.
Why do you wish to know?
Just curious.
Belle, you're a much ruder person than you initially seemed to be. Don't you agree, my fairy? What do our sanctuaries have to do with the investigation? If you're out of questions, then how about just going home?
Hey, mind if I jump in here?
What is it, Simon? We hope you've got a real question for us.
Well, actually, I'm also a little curious myself. No one's supposed to touch any sanctuary, right?
That's what we said.
What about you, though? You can't even touch them yourself? Are there any extenuating circumstances?
What are you getting at?
I mean, I doubt if any of this really matters, but if no one can touch the sanctuaries, then how do you clean them?
This is a very large shredder. Is there something you don't want people finding out about?
Good question. But we never know when some curious civil servants may come and sift through our trash now, do we?
You're already retired. What are you so worried about?
It's just a simple habit from back when we were still on duty. Didn't they bang that into your head when you were up in Quantico? Some habit, no matter how hard you try.
Mr. Morgan, I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered, and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years. And when you returned, you requested what happened.
That's a private matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case. Don't you think it resembles the Luke Carre case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past.
That's royal jelly.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you? Do you find it strange that there's honeycomb inside? We wanted to harvest royal jelly in its most natural state. The queen's main food source, created from the worker bee's secretions. It's a perfect food, filled with power, meant to fuel the birth of the next queen. By absorbing it into our own bodies, we too can acquire that power. Incidentally, did you know that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Guess they didn't teach you that at Quantico. Male bees are only born to inseminate, and they're born from unfertilized eggs to boot. They have short lives and don't even get stingers. Sort of feels like a glimpse into the future of our society, wouldn't you agree? Women are gifted with the power to conceive, give birth, and nourish their children. But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance to do so. If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe. Be careful, Simon.
Huh? Of what?
Your Belle's already stolen the reins from you.
The silver clock in that trash pile.
That's right. John Harrison's 5th chronometer, completed in 1770. After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude in order to end their feud with him. It's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing. Prime fruit of the human race's intellect. We took the invisible idea of time and manifested it in these.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
I disagree.
Oh? Why?
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays, people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. Talk about idiocy. I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans used to cross oceans with the stars alone. We have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
What if it's cloudy or storming?
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
Hear that, my fairy? Courage and a love for adventure? Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
Hey, hold on a second here. That Board of Longitude thing. What the heck is that? I mean, I've heard of it before. I'm an FBI analyst, remember? I just sort of can't remember it right now. I'm telling the truth. Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here.
Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
What did we just say? We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely at it, former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Lucare case you worked on in 2005.
Red tree.
Yes, a red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case, they're connected by these red trees, aren't they?
Red trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn good.
Are you ready to talk now? I want to know what went down in Le Carré in 2005.
Fine. We'll tell you. We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes. It was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was. It was a sultry summer day. The sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers. It all started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me. My better half.
Never a choice. When somebody needs you, you can't turn away. You're their only lifeline, just a hero, a bullet for hire, working alone. Always a voice, a cry in the darkness, an echo of pain that's been long forgotten, but it haunts me, my destiny to be alone. There's a time when you see life for what it's gotta be. You should know they'll destroy you. Call to me to keep searching, walk alone.
Zach. Zach. Can you hear me, Zach? There you are, Zach. Sleeping again? Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos. Isn't that right, Zach? Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us. Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Le Carré, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Folks say the killer used an axe. Hell of an old-fashioned choice if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
Well, shoot. I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it. You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seal. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know? They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
What do you know about the Clarksons' house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say. But I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days. Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind. Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart, and when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the Deep South for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief, right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all. Understand? I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of Cat People for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Okay.
Another vital element of Cat People is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder. Period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister. So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts. When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister. Why do you look so excited? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes. But folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces. Scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed?
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, it's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent. In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities, and I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Another mode?
Want to hear the detail?
Not really, but I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana, so I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car?
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. Who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter, 1984, directed by Nick. It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech design. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself, especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be. I remembered exactly where I parked it, right between a blue pickup truck and a hedgerow. But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it, and in its place, they left me this.
What?
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels. Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. Why do you look so surprised? No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Lise Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach? Zach. The searing light. These scents. It's the deep South. That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Well, the tea was to die for. But I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee? An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana. And Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered, her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar. The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Lucare, and he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach. You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island. 2005, directed by Michael Bay. For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic, an experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did. This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line, a genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that. Don't you, Zach? Hey there, Chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David. I just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Lucare is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah. And
That's it.
that's it?
Yes, that's it, sir. Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you. It's beautiful, valuable, and old. I'm sure you'll understand once you see it. Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
Did you see that, Zach? That was clearly David. Not a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man. Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him? His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him. Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hungan.
Hungan. Title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Do you comprehend the oracle?
The Oracle. Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Fell 10 maidens in the shrine of hunger. Find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But what do you mean by otherworld?
Follow the oracle.
Zach, did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach. Zach, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules. Zach, what did you think of Hungan's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel, and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign. I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous zero represents? Zero is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes, 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous zero than that. The question is, does our zero refer to Celsius or Fahrenheit? Let's think for a moment. We're in Louisiana. Which measurement system do we use here in America? Very funny, Zach. Now, it's time to get serious. You already know. Do you know what the ambiguous zero represents? Zero is usually treated as a base number, The Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. And how about that Hoongan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying to smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At
bellboy.
your service, boss.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams Deep South. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease. You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is. In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia. We're always surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right? I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Oh, that's stupid. By the way, what's your name?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Is something wrong with you? Adults ain't supposed to act like that. I only asked for your name so I can write it on the contract. You should have been able to figure that out if you're a real FBI agent like you said. Come on, sign here. Right here on the paper.
Just as I thought, Zach. This contract paper, it's a Sang Rouge wrapper. Sang Rouge is here, too. This must mean that Sang Rouge is connected to the Lees Clarkson murder case somehow. This is a sprawling case that spread across the entire South. It's within our jurisdiction, Zach. We'll need to steal the right to investigate from the local authorities at once. By the way, miss, what's your name?
Patricia Woods. But I gotta write my name myself, or else it won't be a real signature.
Tell me, Patricia, does this town have a sheriff, or is it under the jurisdiction of the nearest city police?
Perfect timing. Well, go on and steal it if you want it. I was just thinking about how this is way out of my daddy's league.
Thank you for the information, Patricia. Okay, Zach, it's time to get to work. How should we seize control from the sheriff this time?
Hey there. So, you're the fella from the FBI I've been hearing so much about. I'm Melvin. They call me the sheriff round here.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan? But call me York if you can. That's what everyone calls me.
Huh? Well, all right. Mr. York. How's that sound?
Fine by me.
I'm sure you figured this out, but our town's a small one. Yeah, folks are already busy spreading gossip about how some FBI agents come to town. Now, I reckon you came from the city. What was it? DC? LA? Or New York? Anywho, in the city, it's normal not to know who your neighbor is. Fella who moves in next to you could cook up a dozen folks in his backyard and no one would bat an eye. That's the city for you. Now, I never lived in one myself, but I visited them a few times, so I know what it's like. All pigs must die in the city of wolves. Yeah! Now, does that sound badass or what? I bet you'd. Hey! I know, CLG. I'm just trying to make a little small talk, that's all. Anywho, round these parts, everyone knows each other's name. So lots of folks get leery when they see an étranger like you. And since it's my duty to protect the town, I thought I'd stop by and say hello.
Zach, it looks like this sheriff is quite the happy-go-lucky type. A clear indication of just how peaceful this town is. Melvin, about the Lise Clarkson case.
I knew you were here for that case. Can't put one past the FBI. So they even got eyes on the smallest of towns like us, huh? Our world is filled with information, and it's all within their grasp. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
The Lise Clarkson case is connected to a top-secret case that we've...
I know. If you're fixing to take the lead, then go right ahead. I'm just the humble sheriff of a tiny little town. My jobs are to stop my neighbors from beating the piss out of each other and listen to old folks complain. Honestly, this whole murder case has been weighing me down. So I'm gonna give you my full cooperation, Mr. Special Agent, sir.
Well, Zach, that was anticlimactic. I didn't even get to use my secret weapon. Melvin, there's a cold storage warehouse on the southern end of town, isn't there? I'd like to get permission to enter it.
Say what?
You want to see where the body's being kept, right?
Oh, I get it now. Lisa's body, yeah. Now, that's what I call a special agent. You already figured that much out. But, I'm not too sure that, going down there at this point is really gonna help much, you know?
Explain it yourself, Daddy.
That's incredible. I don't believe this. Amazing. Did you hear that, Zach? They put the body in a cold storage warehouse. This is fantastic. Insanely fantastic.
Really? Well, how about that? Well, all right then. I'll head on down to the warehouse ahead of you and make sure we get permission to search it.
Sounds good.
The management company only keeps the warehouse open during certain hours, so you'll have to come during those hours. I ain't looking to create any further disturbances. So be on time. Got it? Come on, let's roll, CLG.
I'm gonna walk home, Daddy. I still got another stop to make.
Oh, if you say so, sweetie. She's a real sharp one, as you can see, so I try to stay out of her way. Well, all right then, York. I'll see you at the warehouse. Mr. York, that was mighty quick. The special agent does it again. You sure don't waste any time. I bet my CLG's got a lot to learn from you. By the way, Mr. York, looks to me like you aren't packing anything.
I was on vacation in New Orleans before I happened to stop by here.
Well, shoot, that won't do. Here, I got something I think you'll like. It's a tranquilizer gun for the gators. And here's a radio. With this, you won't have to worry about any expensive roaming fees. Might take you a while to get used to them, but you'll get it. Try letting them rip a few times. Ain't no need to hold back out here.
Now this is an intriguing weapon. For a tranquilizer gun, it really packs a punch, but I'm afraid I'll decline. After all, this town is peaceful, isn't it?
Well, sure is peaceful. At least the humans are. But the animals, are a different story. Remember what I named it? There are some real mean-ass gators out there in the swamps. And every now and then, they wander into town. One of them even went and ate a kid once. It happened a long time ago, but still, one chomp's all it takes. They swallow down every last bit of you. Poor kid's parents didn't even know what to put in his coffin. The worst part is, that taught the gators just how tasty we humans are. So now, those suckers just attack on sight. Man-eating crocodiles will feast tonight. In Blood Swamp!
You know he's fibbing, right? Gators don't attack folks. I never heard about no kid getting swallowed by a gator.
Actually, Patricia, you're wrong.
I'm what?
Alligators do attack people, and it could happen in any town.
Huh?
Alligator, 1980. Directed by Louis Teague. It takes place in the Midwest, I believe. A teenage girl, then, in the sewer, it feeds on the corpses of dogs that were used as test subjects for an experimental growth formula. After growing over 30 feet, it finally starts to go after humans. It's an extremely edifying movie. Back when I first saw it, I had a pet hamster.
Hey, Agent York, what's your first order of business? You're in charge now, remember?
Well said, Patricia. I nearly lost sight of my true goal. Melvin, I couldn't help but notice the name on the side of that truck. This facility is connected to the victim, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. I reckon I better start from there. I'm gonna tell it to you straight right from the beginning, Mr. York. As you guessed, this warehouse is run by the Clarksons. The victim's father, Danny Clarkson, is the one who manages the whole place. Okay, but why did he choose to store her body in his own warehouse, right? Well, that's because there ain't no other place to store it. Our town has a clinic inside a church, but no morgue. Whenever someone kicks the bucket, we just bury him in the graveyard right outside of town. But not this time. We got a murder on our hands this time. We need to give Lisa's body an autopsy and keep it stored, right? So we had no choice but to rent out a corner of this warehouse.
I see. So that's what led to the ingenious choice to store the victim's body in a facility that her family owns.
Anywho, this is where the real story begins. Truth is, a few days before you got here, Lisa's
Missing.
Yeah! All of a sudden, poof.
Did you leave the warehouse unlocked?
I most certainly did not. I locked the whole place up and made sure no one could get inside. No one stole the original key, and I couldn't find any fingerprints at the scene.
So, in other words, this is a locked room mystery.
The body of a beautiful young girl walks at midnight. Hey! all right, CLG. Reckon I should have told you about this earlier when you first said you wanted to come here. It just didn't seem like the time or place as I remember. Anywho, how about we call it a day and head back to my office? You can go through all the files there.
No, thank you. This is what I came to investigate.
But Lisa's body isn't here anymore. You sure?
That doesn't bother me one bit, Melvin. You see, I met a skeletal gentleman on my way here, and he was kind enough to give me an oracle.
You holding up okay, CLG? Sure you don't...
I'll be fine, Daddy. Just make sure you don't take your eyes off of him. He's so selfish and inconsiderate. I'm still not convinced he's actually a real FBI agent. Look, he's talking to himself again.
Zach, this is the ambiguous zero, the deep freeze. Let's hurry up and find that flying serpent, shall we?
Hey, Mr. York. You sure you want to keep investigating this place even though we know the body ain't here?
Of course, Melvin. The skeletal gentleman gave me an oracle, remember?
It's... Skella what?
Ugh, he's just joking, Daddy. You can't take him seriously.
Huh? Well, was that really a joke, Mr. York? Well, I'll be. I see you've been hiding some real charm into that whole FBI routine.
Sorry, Melvin, but I'm dead serious.
This place always gives me goosebumps, no matter how many times I come here.
Yes, it's quite the funhouse. Truly a dazzling place. Meet entertainment. That's the only way to describe it. Woven together by life, frozen in time, a visceral, musical
Symphony. We eat all this in order to survive.
Yes, truly a symphony. Life and death resonating together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool? Whoa now, CLG. Since when were you interested in this kind of stuff?
What are you so surprised for, Daddy? I'm more mature than you are. I've seen way more realistic corpses on CSI, you know.
Oh, man.
At first, Zach, I was shocked by the notion of storing a victim's body alongside food. But as I gaze upon this hanging garden, I realize it's just another scene of violent, depraved murder. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. York, this is kinda, yeah.
Melvin, if you have something to say, then just go on and say it. Otherwise, you'll simply be insulting this beautiful landscape.
You think this is beautiful?
Oh, yes. It's the abnormal world that supports our normal lives. I think that's wonderful, don't you? Besides, look. Patricia seems to be handling this a lot better than you are.
Well, you see, I ain't too good with this grotesque stuff. Ugh.
Don't let it get to you, Daddy. Whew. Everyone has at least one thing they're afraid of. Even you. Right, Agent York?
Something I'm afraid of?
Yeah, that's right. You gotta have at least one thing. Like clowns.
Clowns are so funny. How could anyone be scared of them?
Zombies.
Love them.
A bucket full of worms.
I could squeeze them with my bare hands.
The sound of screeching glass.
Doesn't bother me.
Then...
They cling to your skin like putrid leeches, robbing you of much more than your vitality. The wet socks.
Melvin, you're a genius. Melvin, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you a personal question. In the hotel parking lot, when I first met you, the picture you had on your dashboard happened to catch my eye. Was that your wife?
Oh, her? Yeah, that's my lady, all right. Candy. Her name's Candy, the prettiest girl in town, which makes me the happiest boy. A shooting star landed in a rural town, right on top of a man who now has a meteor-struck heart.
You always keep her photo with you?
You bet I do. The truth is, Candy's a little sick right now. She can't even leave the house no more. So I always keep her photograph with me. Kinda feels like we're always together, you know?
I see. You care for your wife a great deal, but this means that...
Yeah, that's right. My mama had me before she married Daddy, but it don't matter. He's still my real daddy to me.
Oh, thank you, CLG, and you're my pride and joy.
Well, Zach, isn't this a heartwarming scene? But there's one thing I just can't get out of my mind. Don't you think that photograph looked a bit too old? Perhaps Candy is already... No, let's not think about that. It might be a private matter, just like you, Zach. Here we are, Zach. The morgue. They stored the victim's body in a cold storage warehouse operated by her family. I'd love to shake the hand of whoever came up with that one.
Hey, Agent York. Did you just come here to laugh at rural officers who are doing the best they can? We don't have any special facilities like you people. What else did you expect us to do, huh? Don't compare us with city folk. This is Lucare. Or maybe you're just disappointed that you didn't get to see the bloated, decomposing corpse of a young girl.
Sorry, you're right. I went a bit too far just now. But don't misunderstand. I honestly think it's a fantastic idea. I'd never try and bully your daddy.
Better not.
Thank you for understanding. Yes, Seth. This frog. That's right, Lisa's body. But there are notes, so our boxes. I can't. What do you? I'm gonna go. Zach, can you? That's right. It's hard to. Yes, Zach. Seems like our flying serpent isn't here. Is this everything, Melvin? There aren't any other rooms in this warehouse? No special rooms?
Well, there is the luxury foods warehouse.
Luxury foods? Why didn't you say so earlier?
Just thought you wanted to see where the body... I just thought you were only interested in warehouse number 2. Besides, it's underground, so it's even colder than this. You sure you really want to go down there? You could darn well freeze to death. All life will come to an end in the icebound zone. You feel me?
Let's head there at once. I'm sure that must be where we're meant to go.
But what about searching for Lisa's body?
All we need to do is find a 10-foot tall man with monstrous strength. That giant knows where she is.
10 foot tall?
But finding the flying serpent is more important right now. Now please, guide me to the luxury foods warehouse at once. These luxury foods are most likely being used in local Cajun cuisine. I'm so excited to see what we'll find. Aren't you, Zach?
A 10-foot tall giant? All right. Now that one's gotta be a joke. Right, Mr. York? That elevator needs a key, Mr. York.
Do you have one?
Actually, no. I didn't think you'd ever want to go down there, so I didn't bother to go and get one.
Well, then would you go and get one now?
Yeah. CLG, I know. I'll tell it to him straight. Thing is, Mr. York, you know the Clarksons? The folks who own this place? Well, they don't too much like the police. And they sure as hell don't like them when they're my color. It was, real hard for me to get permission to open up this place for you to search through. So they ain't gonna be too happy if I go back to them now, asking for another key.
What should we do then?
Let's just find a worker here who can lower the elevator for us instead. All they need to do is take a break from their work for a couple minutes.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand here and pretend like nothing's happening?
Yeah, you FBI folks are good at that, right? That's always what I see you doing on TV.
The elevator won't move. Think you two can go and figure something out? I'll search around here in the meantime. I know they didn't make you a special agent for nothing.
Zach, look at that thermometer. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 17.7 degrees Celsius. This is the ambiguous zero.
Hey, Avery! Can you hear me? Open the damn door, Avery! It ain't no use, Mr. York. Once Avery starts working on something, that's all he sees. He just tunes out everything else. We'll have to wait until he finishes and comes out to us, I reckon. Or we could come back tomorrow.
I disagree, Melvin. Time may be on our side, but that doesn't mean we should waste it. You gave me Mr. Alligator precisely for moments like these, didn't you?
Those tranquilizers may be non-lethal, but it's still dangerous to use them on humans.
Of course, Melvin. I never said I was going to shoot him.
You're gonna shoot some meat to get his attention. I'm right, ain't I?
This is Mr. York, an agent from the FBI.
Hi, Avery. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
York, you a smarty pants, huh?
He's shyer than he looks. Come on, just settle down, Avery. Tell him what this here place is for.
Lots of expensive food here. Yup. Mighty precious to the Clarksons, so I gotta guard it.
I see. So you're this area's keeper.
Oh, I help with the research too. I do like research.
Research? What are you talking about, Avery? This doesn't look like a lab to me.
Oh, ain't no lab. It's a warehouse. Ain't no lab. Smarty pant scientist does the research. I ain't no smarty pants, no.
He's a bit slow in the mind, but he ain't a bad guy. Oh. Your story about the giant who carried Lisa out. Don't tell me you think it's him. I mean, it's true that he's free to come and go as he pleases in this warehouse, but...
No, as far as I can tell, he's just a bit over 6'5". The one who moved Lisa's body must be at least 10 feet tall. He's clearly too short.
Too short, huh? Well, if you ever happen to find a man who makes him look small, I'd sure like to meet him.
Lise.
Hey, cut it out!
Lise. Why?
Avery, that's not Lise.
Not Lise?
This is Melvin's daughter, and my precious assistant. Unfortunately, Elise is no longer with us.
Lise! Lise! My fault! My fault!
I guess he's sort of like Lise, you know? See, The poor fella's got himself a childlike mind. You know how normal kids tease other kids in order to get attention? Well, with this big lug, sometimes folks who don't know him too well see something and end up calling the police. But I know that deep down, he's got a good heart. Hey, Mr. York, I'll keep him busy, but I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry this particular inspection along. Just holler at me if you find anything. I reckon that'll make it easier for you to go do your thing, yeah?
Melvin, I think you're finally starting to catch on.
Whew. So, what do we do now, Mr. York?
Zach and I will take things from here.
Then what should I do?
Tend to your sick wife? I don't know. You're free to do as you please. I'll stop by the sheriff's office when I need your help again.
I suppose that's what I'll do then. It'll sure make Candy happy. But I am the sheriff of this town, so I do intend to get some work done. I know. How about I search for Lisa's body while you're busy?
Not a bad idea. Just be careful that you don't get attacked by a barefooted giant.
Hey, don't scare me like that. Why do you keep talking about that giant anyway? You really think some giant was responsible for all this?
Melvin, don't be silly. Of course I do. Just when I thought you were starting to catch on. Disappointing, to say the least.
But how can you be so sure? I want to see some proof.
Proof number 1. The footprints that led up to where Lisa's body originally was were made with bare feet. None of the prints looked similar to those of common insulated boots, and the arches of the feet were visible. The person who carried out Lisa's body must have had very large feet. I'd say they were at least 16 inches. Proof number 2. I found fingerprints on the cord of one of the hanging lights in the warehouse. The fingerprints weren't aimed up from below. They were coming directly from the side. Clearly, the giant moved the light because it was in his way. He pinched the cord with his fingers. Proof number 3. There was nothing else found in the vicinity where Lisa's body was stored. This means the giant carried her out without dragging her across the floor. But there's only one set of footprints. The only conclusion I can draw from this evidence is that a barefooted giant standing over 10 feet tall carried Lisa's body out. That concludes the entirety of my proof. Any objections, Melvin?
But there ain't no way a human could ever be that tall.
Have you seen every human alive with your own eyes? Well then, you need to forget all your preconceived notions when embarking on an investigation. Whether you come face to face with a 10-foot giant or a skeletal gentleman, you always need to accept everything that comes to you with a clear mind. Do that, and eventually the truth will reveal itself to you. You're a smart kid, I'm sure you understand.
Well, I'll be damned. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Mr. FBI Special Agent, sir. A sharp eye and flawless observational skills. Uncovering the truth with a heady intuition. I won't ever question you again. Heck, I'll do whatever you say.
That's it, Melvin. I'm glad you finally caught on. Okay, time to go, Patty. You know this town well, so I'd like you to accompany me from now on.
Patty?
10 maidens, Zach. Let's topple their hourglass figures and complete this oracle once and for all.
Oh, my Lord. I don't believe I've seen you around here before. Sorry, honey, but you can't smoke in here. Since you're with Patricia, I'm guessing you're some friend of Melvin's.
He's Agent York from the FBI. This is Alexis, the owner of this restaurant. I'm helping out Agent York in his investigation. We signed a contract.
Oh, my Lord. Well, ain't that something?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. Everyone's always called me that.
Oh, my Lord. Well, that's got to be the strangest introduction I've ever heard. No wonder everyone in town's been talking about you.
I want a chocolate sundae, but no cherries. I want 2 wafers instead. Don't put too many Rice Krispies on it. Oh, but don't scrimp on the chocolate syrup either.
Oh, my Lord. And what'll it be for you, honey?
Alexis, are these photos of the town?
Oh, you like my pictures? My hobby's collecting snapshots of what our town used to be like. So whenever someone gives me an old picture, I just put it up here on display. Our world these days feels a bit cold to me, you know? Just thought it'd be nice to help folks remember what it was like in the good old days.
Zach, did you hear that? The good old days. Even in a remote town that's already far behind the times, there are still people who yearn for the past.
She told me what was going on, you know.
What?
Lise, you don't need to try and hide it from me, honey. Last time she came here, she told me all about it. Some odd fella was following her around. Stalking her like.
What kind of fellow?
She said he had a really tall shadow.
How tall?
As tall as an oak tree.
Did that ring any bells for you?
Sadly, it didn't. I know just about everyone in this here town, but I ain't never seen a man who stands that tall. Maybe it really was an oak tree and she just mistook it for someone. Sometimes the silhouettes of them trees, with lots of Spanish moss hanging down, make me feel a little funny too.
I don't think so, Alexis. Lise said the shadow was following her, correct? That means she must have been stalked by a man as tall as an oak tree. If she had only mistaken an oak tree for a person, she wouldn't have described it that way. She might have said,
It felt like a crowd of people was staring at me.
Yes, exactly. She certainly wouldn't have talked about being followed by someone. Thank you, Patty. Zach, this data is all very intriguing, but it isn't the answer we're looking for. We came to knock down the 10 maidens, remember?
Oh, yeah! Booyah! Oh, I got a turkey!
Truly mesmerizing, Zach. This is why I never tire of small-town investigations. Same goes for you, right?
Agent York, if you're fixing to bowl, you're gonna be disappointed. Mrs. Carpenter never lets anyone else use the lane while she's here.
Patty, that's exactly what I came to do. You see, Zach and I need to bowl down 10 maidens.
Fine, go on and try if you wanna, but I'm gonna eat my sundae. Hey! Are you nuts?
What's the most addictive drug in the world?
How should I know?
It's sugar, Patty. Far more people die from obesity and diabetes than from cocaine and heroin. Alexis, would you give her some milk?
Oh, my Lord. Coming right up, honey.
Sugar might be dangerous, but it ain't against the law. You got no right to take that from me, even if you are some FBI agent.
Actually, Patty, I do. We signed a contract, remember? I promised to protect you from all the evil in our world.
Hey!
Delicious. What an amazing chocolate sundae. Zach, I think we just uncovered an incredible treasure here. I feel like I could eat one of these every day while we're in this town.
Oh, what?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, howdy, stranger. My, you're a handsome one. You came out here from the city, didn't you? I can always spot you city folk from a mile away.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Would you mind calling me York, ma'am?
Oh, so you are from the FBI. I thought as much. So sophisticated. Well, my horoscope in the paper today told me I'd be meeting someone new. And those horoscopes never miss. They're the real deal. Well, one even predicted when I'd bowl my first perfect game. Oh, no! Oh, could you stand a bit closer to me? Whew, that was a close one. If you move any further that way, you'll cast a shadow over the lane. Well, the sheriff did that once, and something horrible happened. The next time I bowled, I got a gutter ball. First time in 12 years. I was mortified. And I am going to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. In our world, some routines lead to good things, while others only lead to the bad. So, you mustn't ever cast a shadow over the lane. Is that understood?
It's her routine, Zach. Understand? Just like us and coffee. Incidentally, ma'am, would you mind letting me use this lane too? I'm investigating the Lise Clarkson murder case. And I need to topple 10 maidens, no matter what it takes.
No, absolutely not. Not even the FBI can take my lane from me. I haven't given it up once ever since my husband passed away over a decade ago. I'll never break my promise to him.
But...
Now, if you'll excuse me. Ooh, you like that? That's what I'm talking about. Who's your mama?
Zach, it looks like negotiations have failed. Now I'm afraid we have no choice but to force her to let us use her bowling lane. Yes, I know. I won't do anything illegal. Excuse me, Mrs. Carpenter?
Stop! Not now! Can't you see I'm already in my bowling stance? What, are you blind? Holy mother of bowling balls, let me pick up this split. That stance, always works on a split. Oh, yeah, never fails.
Zach, our new friend, appears to be a very superstitious lady. We should try and utilize this trait of hers in order to gain access to the lane for a bit. That was an amazing shot, Mrs. Carpenter. In fact, it may have been the most amazing shot I've ever seen. Speaking of which, where did you happen to find all those neat little items? The ones you used to help you bowl that split just now.
Ooh, you got a keen eye there, Mr. Special Agent. Taking a liking to my collection, have you?
Oh yes, A great liking.
I buy all my charms and power stones from Erzuli Frida.
Erzuli Frida.
Yes, it's a mystical establishment run by the Mirror.
The Mirror.
If you're interested, I can mark it on your map for you.
This is all kid stuff. It's just a bunch of charms. I'm allowed to watch TV and go on the internet, but I ain't allowed in here? My daddy makes no sense sometimes. You agree, right, Agent York? This is all just kid stuff.
Look at this, Zach. All the mysticism of the Deep South gathered up into one quaint little shop. This is 100 times more exciting than the FBI evidence vault. It's a vast treasure chest. So much to study, so much to learn.
Thou art a seeker, and I see the object of thy desire. Doth this be what thou seekest? I could sell it to thee now. And only now. Surely fortune shall not bless thee with another chance. Purchase this, and know that thy wishes shall be granted.
That's crazy. Even I can tell you're getting cheated, Agent York.
I disagree, Patty. This person can be trusted. I've been studying people for quite a while, so I can tell. That figurine is connected to our future.
My price is true. What say thee?
I'll buy it.
Thou art a man of refined taste. I am loath to part with it, but 'twould be a fool's errand to keep it from such a keen-eyed soul.
What's wrong with you? No normal person would ever buy a piece of junk like that, not even at a garage sale.
Marvelous, isn't it, Zach? What a treasure. I can't wait to use it.
Use it? Where? How?
Isn't it obvious, Patty? I'm going to put it in front of Mrs. Carpenter's house.
In front of her house?
Yes, I'm sure this figurine will stop her right in her tracks. And that'll give us a chance to finally topple the 10 maidens.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. And so is Zach. Aren't you?
I'm seriously wondering if I should quit helping you out with this.
Mihala.
Whoa.
That was close.
Well, look at you, all standing there like you're expecting me to apologize. Huh, it's your fault for not paying attention. What?
Got a moment?
Can't say I do. I'm in a hurry here.
I won't take up too much of your time. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
I said I'm in a hurry, Peckerwood. Now get out of my way.
Patty, who was that?
Kalina Clarkson. PJ Clarkson's second daughter, and Lisa's mother.
Zach, we've found ourselves a Clarkson.
Oh no, she's not here. My dolly. Oh, she's not here. My dolly isn't here.
One of the key persons in this case just came out of the woodwork to meet us. Now things are really getting interesting. Isn't that right, Zach? Yes. Perfect.
Oh, my dear lost lamb, what are you doing there?
Oh, this? This is all part of the Lise Clarkson murder investigation.
Something important, hmm?
Oh, yes. Very important. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me. But what should I call you?
I'm Tyrone Sanders, pastor of the Lucare Evangelical Church.
And what business does a pastor like yourself have in a place like this?
Well, I live over across the way there.
Do you have an intimate relationship with Mrs. Carpenter?
Why in the world would you suggest such a pitiful thing? Lordy, Lordy. How could I ever become intimate with one who is so devoid of faith? After she lost her husband, she stopped coming to church. All she does all day is bowl. She even pruned the shrubbery in that pitiful fashion. Yes, truly pitiful. And did you see that hideous ox of a dog she owns? Pitiful with a capital P. I tried speaking with her, but she shows no intention of changing her ways. Yes, I fear she never lends an ear when the good Lord reaches out to her. Indeed, I pity her from the bottom of my heart.
So you've been spying on her out of pity?
Spying? I'm merely awaiting the chance to lend her a helping hand. You'd best be careful, too. This town harbors much more danger than you're aware of. If you ever find yourself in need of salvation, feel free to stop by our church whenever you like. Our church also functions as a clinic. Someday, you may need our help.
Zach, did you hear that? Pitiful. Try saying that to someone in the city. They'd instantly slap you with slander or defamation charges. You'd be up to your neck in court papers. I doubt I'll tire of this town anytime soon. We should consider stopping by that church whenever we get a chance.
Oh, looks like I finally earned myself a rival.
That was just a stroke of luck, Mrs. Carpenter. Despite how I may seem, I've never been any good at any of the ball-based sports that exist here on our planet.
Oh, no, you can't fool me. I can tell the FBI's giving you very special training. If I gave you a few lessons on top of that, I'm sure you'd be able to go semi-pro.
Semi-pro?
That's right. That's what I said.
Not pro, but semi-pro.
Yes, semi-pro. You'd never be able to go pro. You don't have what it takes. You could become a semi-pro if you tried really hard, though. Well, I guarantee it. Come back and see me when you feel like giving it a try. I'm sure my husband would forgive me if I let someone like you borrow my lane. Well, we gotta give youngsters a chance to grow. That's what we always say.
I could actually go semi-pro?
I'd take her words with a grain of salt if I were you.
Patricia, I can understand why you'd be envious of my talents, but you don't need to worry. You have your own unique talents, just like any other person. You shouldn't have to feel inferior every time you look at me.
You're unbelievable. You sure you don't need to get your head checked out?
It's so strange, Zach. I feel like I'm discovering a new side to myself.
By the way, Mr. Special Agent, you said you're investigating the Lise Clarkson incident, yes? In that case, there's something you should know. That poor girl, Lise, she was a druggie, and she was into the really bad stuff.
Red powder.
Oh, no wonder the FBI picked you. You already figured out that much. Well, the reason Lise turned into such a little hoodlum is because of her mother, Galena.
Galena?
Mm-hmm. A mother only in name. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, she's still nothing more than a child herself. Oh, dressing up in fancy clothes, always out on the town somewhere. Children giving birth to children. If these aren't the end times, well, I don't know what is. Oh, and they were always cooped up in that jazz bar. Galena wouldn't know proper parenting if it hit her in the tush.
Zach, the jazz bar. We first heard about it from Patricia. It must be deeply connected with this case and the red powder. It must be Saint Rouge. Following the Oracle and felling the 10 maidens sure paid off, didn't it?
So, Mr. Special Agent, are you all finished here?
Yes, Mrs. Carpenter. Thanks to you, I've gotten a new lead.
Oh, then how about you mosey on and let me get back to my bowling? I need to bowl my first game of the day or else I'm gonna get rusty. Well, what are you waiting for? Get a move on! Shoo, shoo!
When the sun awakens, catch the tip of the baby bear's tail at the false altar. And the entrance to the other world will reveal itself to you.
Zach, it's another oracle. It appears that we're being guided by a mysterious power. This oracle is a simple one. The false altar. You already know what this is, right? The place where Lise Clarkson's body was first discovered. She was found under a bridge at some sort of altar as if she was being worshipped. That's what Chef David said, right? When the sun awakens refers to dawn, of course. And the tip of the baby bear's tail is the North Star. At dawn, look straight to the north from where Lisa's body was found. On the surface, this oracle may seem tricky and convoluted, but it's still mere child's play. Pathetic. Zach, let's follow the oracle and head to where Lisa's body was found. I don't know what other world refers to, but I'm sure we'll find out once we get there.
Oracle?
That's right, Patty. This case is a rather complicated one, so Zach and I are following oracles given to us by a skeletal gentleman in order to crack it.
This is Lucare Tiger. Do you read me? Over. Lucare Tiger, to DC Eagle. Do you copy?
It's Daddy. Hurry up and answer.
This is DC Eagle. I read you loud and clear. Over.
Oh, good. Mr. York, I'm sure glad you picked up.
There's no point in using code names if he's just going to say my real name.
Mr. York, can you hear me? Hey, Mr. York! Oh, right. Over.
DC Eagle to Lucare Tiger. Is something wrong? Over.
Mr. York, I got something I need to tell you ASAP. Just sit tight and listen, okay? Over.
Roger, Wilco. Go right ahead. Over.
I just happened to overhear some of the Clarksons talking on another channel. Apparently, Lisa's mother's been missing since early this morning. I reckon it might be related to the case, so I wanted to let you in on it right away. Oh, over.
Lisa's mother. You're referring to Galena, the social butterfly? Over.
Another special agent slam dunk. So, you already did a little research on her, huh? That's right. The one who's gone missing is the younger of the Clarkson sisters, and our town's queen of the night. No one can slip one past me. Because I'm the ultimate FBI agent, Francis York Morgan! My proverbial hat goes off to your investigative skills, sir. Anywho, Galena used to be an actress, and she's also real pretty in the face. Draws attention wherever she goes. If you happen to spot her while you're investigating, would you let me know? Oh yeah, over. Wait. Hey, Mr. York, what do you say we cut this out, huh? Over this, over that. It all seems kind of overblown, don't you think? Besides, I reckon we're the only ones listening to this. No need to be so stiff, right?
Yes.
Glad to hear it. I ain't never been too good with formalities, you feel me? Well, Mr. York, if I hear any more news, I'll be sure to let you know. Good luck out there.
Daddy's such a goofball.
Patty, do you think Galena is really as beautiful as people say?
I don't know, I guess. Men just seem to like women like her for some reason.
Who's more beautiful, Galena or your mother?
What?
Candy Woods, your mother. Melvin said she was the prettiest girl in town.
How should I know? That's a stupid question.
Why is it stupid?
My mom is sick.
Zach, that was a bad move. We stepped right into a private matter without any shoes on. But these things are bound to happen. After all, I'm a special agent of the FBI. And there isn't an organization out there that's more well-versed in the art of infringing on people's privacy.
FBI, right?
And who might you be?
I'm Raven, but around here they call me the Speed Witch. You're here investigating the lease case, yeah? And instead of a car, you're using a skateboard? For real? You've already become the talk of the town, you know? Anyway, I was just wondering if you needed any help. What's your name?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
Okay, Yorkie it is! I'm actually testing out a new kind of business right now. And I was hoping you'd be down to try it out, Yorkie.
What kind of business are we talking about here?
I drive my customers to wherever they want to go, and once we get there, they pay me. Now that I think about it, I reckon it ain't much different from a taxi.
Seems a bit strange to call it a new type of business then.
Only 'cause you haven't heard the details yet. Here, let me explain. I got a feeling that in the future, cell phones are gonna get more advanced. And people are gonna be able to just order taxis from their phones whenever they need to get somewhere. So I'm thinking, hey, why don't I just start a company that instantly sends out drivers to take folks from point A to point B?
How?
I want to make it so that anyone out there can just register on my site as a driver. I'm talking normal people, not pros. Then once we get a request, we'll just send out the driver who's closest to the customer. It'll be a hell of a lot more convenient than public transportation and faster than any normal taxi company. I'm positive it'll be a big hit. And I'm gonna call it Wyvern. The logo will be a Y and a V. Cool, yeah?
Is that legal?
Beats me. But if I hire them all as independent contractors, I reckon it'll work out. See, that means each driver and customer will be bound by their own private agreements. My company will just provide them with a platform to hook up. Squeaky clean, right? Now, here comes the fun part. I want to help you get around while you're in our town, Yorkie. For a fee, of course. Keep an eye out for my balloons. Whenever you see one in town, give me a whistle and I'll be there.
Why not invite me to use your site then? Why are you out here driving around?
I'm still experimenting with this business model. My site isn't open yet, and I'm still trying to figure out what sort of fees will work best. So I decided to go find myself a customer to get a feel for how things will really go. Well, wanna ride?
Zach, that was quite the spiel, wasn't it? This seems like little more than a scheme to make some pocket change from carpooling. What's new about that? Although it will be a bit hard for us to keep investigating here for days with nothing but a skateboard. What do you think? Should we accept her offer? Got a minute?
I'm the bartender here. I ain't gonna stop you from talking to me. This is America, land of the free. So folks just do whatever the hell they want. That's one of the beautiful things about America. Yeah.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But please, call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
A bureau man, eh? You hear about lease. Yeah.
That I am. Very astute of you. What do you know about her?
No one lives forever. Eventually, all life must come to an end. Yeah.
So you don't know much about her?
The girl I love was her best friend. That's all I know, man.
Sounds like you're deeply connected to this case, then. Why are you giving me the runaround?
Truth bomb number 1. Think good and hard before you reveal yourself to someone you don't know. Just some common sense for daily survival. Yeah. Hey, Bureau man, you change your underwear every day. Yeah. Here's another truth bomb for you. Clean, white underwear without a single stain on it. So pristine it shines. Your day doesn't truly begin until you slip them on. Yeah. Our world's filled with truth bombs. And that's about all I can really tell you.
Zach, this man has got a very unique style to him.
I reckon it's about time we stop flapping our gums here, Bureau man. Don't give up the good fight. Yeah. Later.
One last thing. Do you always dress this way? I'm not quite sure how to put it, but you're practically naked.
This is America, land of the free. I'm simply exercising my freedom. And as my fellow American, you need to respect my freedom. Yeah. So, we... So,
Zach, I sense something here. Lise was murdered here. Let's take a closer look and find out exactly what went on. Zack, the murder weapon was an axe. Lise must have been dismembered while she was still alive. And the woman holding the axe, flashy clothes, beautiful face, and that dragonfly ring, this must be Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson. Look, Zack, she's crying. It's the polar opposite of Lisa's euphoric expression. Galena is brandishing an axe while tears stream down her face. What was going on in her head?
More. I want more. Okay, sweetie. We're gonna play a fun game now. I love games. I wanna play. Yes, I'll give you exactly what you want. Something real special. You'll be able to fly much higher now. I'm happy. So happy. Yeah. I'm your mama. I know exactly what you want.
Red powder. This must be Sang Rouge. But it looks more vibrant than all the specimens we've gathered so far.
Wow, it's amazing. I can feel it. I'm getting prettier. Yeah, you are. See, I made this just for you. My body's getting hot. So hot. I'm burning up. Let the sensations take over, Lise. Soon you won't feel any pain. You won't feel anything at all.
Zack, Lisa's limbs were severed while she was still alive. But she's smiling. She must not have been able to feel any pain. Sang Rouge isn't that powerful of a drug. At least it shouldn't be. And look, Zack. Another dragonfly. The tattoo is just to the side of her navel. She always carried the mark of a Clarkson with her, wherever she went.
Okay, let's get started. This is gonna be so fun. Remember how you used to play with dolls when you were a baby, honey?
Zack, there's a tall woman here. Very stylish. She'd stick out like a sore thumb in this town. Is she watching the murder? No. She's clearly more than an innocent spectator. She must be deeply entwined with this case somehow.
Lise, you're so beautiful. Really? Yay! I'm a little dolly. That's it, Lise. It'll all start from you. Now you'll never die. You'll be eternal. Just wait for me, Lise.
I'll be with you soon. I'll always be with you.
Owie. Owie. Owie.
Lise Clarkson was murdered here. After she died, she was carried to the spot underneath that bridge. Why did the killer feel the need to move her? Bodies are usually only moved to cover up evidence. But this is different. Lisa's body was enshrined. She was being shown off to someone. The ritual, the altar, a mother killing her child, a monstrous giant, and a mysterious, stylish woman. There's a real demon out there, and it's got its sights set on the Clarksons. But Zach, this is exactly the kind of case we FBI agents are here to solve. Isn't that right?
I did it. I really did it. I finally completed the first ritual. Now the plan will begin. The Red One's plan will begin.
Zach, this case is going to be a labyrinth. I certainly didn't expect to run into a monster like this. Honestly, I'm not one for violence, but I'm not just going to stand here and die. What do you think? Should we read off her rights?
Now, it's the Red One's turn. The Red One. Soon. And in the end, we'll be together. Together. And the red. Oh, seeds, red. Oh, yeah. I killed Lise. I did just as I was told. I killed her. So pure, adorable, and beautiful. I killed my own baby. Lise, you son of a bitch! What did you do to my daughter? You're really pissing me off. I'm invincible now. Holy red seeds protect me. So then why? What are you? No, it can't be. You came here to stop our plan? You can't stop us now. We already made our sacrifice. You don't know how much we sacrificed. How many tears of blood we cried. Oh, for the Red One's plan. We've come so far. The Red One gave me the honor of lighting the flame. I'm not gonna let you stop me here!
Galena, is this your true form? Gosh, Hollywood would have been all over you. Although you probably would have been typecast as a gross monster. The kind that heroes always kill.
We're going to make a new world! And no one's going to stop us! Push it! This is impossible! Red 3! These, our new world, my Lise, my sweet little dolly.
Galena Clarkson? You are now under arrest on suspicion of the murder of Lise Clarkson and the illegal disposal of her corpse. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. That's enough, Zach. She can't hear us anymore. Zach, pardon my language, but this case can go fuck itself.
I owe you one, Mr. York. I'm awful sorry you had to get all caught up in our town's dirty laundry. I didn't expect you to catch the criminal this soon, though. You never... Come on, CLG. Let's head back to the office. Mr. York and I both got a lot of cleanup work to take care of. Now I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna tell the Clarksons. That's my biggest problem.
Melvin, this investigation has only just begun.
What? But we got the killer.
This case is much more complicated than it seems.
You mean you're gonna keep searching the town?
Of course. At the moment, I'm after a tall, stylish woman. Does that ring any bells?
Stylish? You lost me. What's that got to do with anything?
Zach and I saw her with our own eyes. We need to find her, I'm positive.
You're probably talking about Professor R.
Professor R? From the jazz bar?
Yeah. I mean, she's the only person in town you could call stylish. She's tall, too.
But...
What is it, Melvin?
Well...
Well? Out with it. Don't let your 10-year-old daughter upstage you here, Sheriff.
You're looking for a stylish woman, right?
Yes, we've established that.
Then I think you're barking up the wrong tree with Professor R. She isn't exactly a normal woman. If you...
I hear you loud and clear. Melvin, you're careless in every sense of the word, but I believe you operate on the side of good in most cases. With that in mind, I'm disappointed to see that you carry some prejudice with you.
But
Is she the type to forbid customers from entering her jazz bar due to the color of their skin?
No, she ain't like that.
Well then, case closed. Melvin, I think we should call it a day. I'm going to head back to my hotel and get some sleep. I also need to prepare a report to send back to the Bureau. Patty, thank you very much for assisting me in my investigation. I'll be counting on you again tomorrow.
I just helped an FBI agent.
Oh, and Melvin, one more thing. You needn't worry about what to tell the Clarksons. I'm sure they already know that Galina's been arrested. After all, this is Lucare. Zach, let's go over our progress. We've got a complicated case on our hands this time, especially as far as the Clarksons' relationships go. But in a way, it's also a simple one. Understanding them on a deeper level is the most efficient way to uncover the truth behind all this. That's the one thing I'm sure of. Zach, let's start with the people who were closest to the victim. Lise Clarkson, the victim, is the granddaughter of the current head of the Clarkson family. Her mother is Galina, an ex-actress, and Lise clearly inherited her beauty. Except for her eyes, that is. Lisa's eye color matches that of her father's. Now, do you remember who Lise Clarkson's father is? That's right. Lisa's father is Danny Clarkson. His real name is Daniel E. Clarkson. He's from Florida and used to be the CEO of a talent agency. Danny struck the heart of Galina and successfully became a member of the esteemed Clarkson family. Despite being the son-in-law, he acts like he was born a Clarkson, but he's still just the son-in-law. Next comes what happened to Lise. According to Alexis, Lise said that the man was as tall as an oak tree. I believe that's the same 10-foot tall giant who made the fingerprints we found in the cold storage warehouse. Now, what did this man do to Lise prior to her murder? No, that's not it, Zach. Lisa's mother, Galina, is the one who always took her to the jazz bar. I don't think our giant is that much of a gentleman. Yes, that's it, Zach. The man as tall as an oak tree followed Lise around and watched her. Despite his towering stature, he must have been rather shy. Or perhaps he was merely biding his time and planned to kidnap her from the very start. If that's the case, there should have been some evidence left at the scene of the crime. Zach, we're still missing some puzzle pieces. Speaking of the scene of the crime, I did some profiling in the plantation's control room. The truth it revealed to us was nauseating and horrific, but we need to touch upon it if we wish to proceed. Isn't that right, Zach? Who actually murdered Lise Clarkson? Yes, that's right. Lisa's own mother killed her, while she was dreaming about some bizarre new world. This is by far the vilest and ugliest crime we've ever seen. The fact that Galina set up her daughter's body at an altar makes this case even more complicated. Remember, not a single sacrificial human murder has ever been proven and documented in all of American history. The real world is far more complex than what we see in films and video games, and sacrificing a human life for something else is no easy task. In conclusion, Zach, through our investigation, we found one character who sticks out more than anyone else. You know exactly who I'm thinking about, don't you? We'll need to have a word with her in the near future. Who's the stylish woman we saw during the profiling? Professor R. We haven't met her yet, but she's deeply intertwined with this case. Let's wait for the skeletal gentleman to guide us to her with an oracle. Well, Zach, what do you think? Isn't the Deep South something? The people here are just as warm as the weather, and the food is to die for. Might be nice to move down here after I retire. What,
Still too early to talk about that? You may be right. After all, this case has only just begun.
Galena can't be the killer. They're making all this shit up.
If what you say is true, Daniel, how do you plan to prove it? It's nearly been a century since the Clarksons first took control of Lucari. 100 years. I always thought my legacy would live on for 300 at least.
I'm gonna find the real killer and beat the living dog shit out of him.
Yet it looks to me like times have changed. We ain't in the good old days no more. You understand me, boy?
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you, Paul. I'm gonna continue what you started, sir, and make the Clarkson family strong again. First, I need to find whoever really killed Lise and bash their fucking brains in.
I saw this coming. Ever since the day Lenny left home, the town of Lucari has been cursed. We can't stop what's happening now. It's too late. It's beyond me. No. It's beyond the minds of anyone who comes from the olden days. You understand me now, boy?
Yes, sir. Believe me, I do. I'll kill him. Just leave everything to me, Paul.
Are you serious about this?
Yes, sir. Right hand of God. Look right in my eyes. I ain't lying. I'm serious. I just need you to lend me some troops, sir. We need retribution right now. That's the job I've been given, and I intend to do it.
Well then, let me ask you one more time. Are you serious about this?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm a Clarkson, and all Clarksons have a job to do. Isn't that what we always say?
Mm-hmm. Then I'll need an arm.
Yeah. What?
Well now, you want to use my troops, I'm gonna need to know whether or not you're really serious about this. Just one arm. Slide it on through that wire there, and it'll take care of it for you.
Paul, I mean, you're joking, right?
Daniel, have I ever told you a single joke?
No, but...
If you want to become a real Clarkson, then you done got yourself a job to do.
Wait, Paul, I get it now. You want me to stick it in and then pull it out at the last minute, right? You want to see if I got guts or not, but there's gonna be another way. You can't be serious, sir. Hey, knock it off, you assholes! Let me go! He's just joking with me. Let me go, goddammit! Oh, please, sir, don't do this! Just tell me this is a joke, please!
I am a Clarkson. And no matter how our fortune falls, all Clarksons have a job to do. That be the law of this land.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately.